Wouldn't you know it, we qualified for the final round of the Vancouver Open. And as you can see, I'm just happy to be here. And with no pressure on me, I even took a bit of time to warm up and hit balls, which is something I don't do often. And by the time I stepped to the first tee, I was feeling pretty good. There's no pressure today, we're in the final round. And yeah, we're tipping out FRASERVIEW and starting on the back nine, which is tough. But I feel good. It starts with a great drive, and then a top. But you know what? This is a long, tough hole. 5 is fine on it. And frankly, the front 9 here is so tough that I think if I can escape even 6 or 7 over through 9, I can still have a good day. A double isn't how we drew it up, though. So let's let the grind begin. This isn't a great drive, and this isn't a good shot either. Let's just wedge it on and get out of here with a bogey. From about 20 feet here, I thought I hit a good putt, and watch this one begin to slide away from the hole. There's a 4-foot knee knocker here, and thankfully we make it. This is the easiest par 5 in the golf course and perhaps the city, but not when you hit a drive like that, or a second shot like that. I'm now caught in some thick fescue above the bunker, and just getting it out of there was an accomplishment. From about 40 yards, I'd like to get up and down here, and I definitely give myself a look, but this one also slides past the hole. This is an intimidating par 3 if there ever was one. 212, and there's a lot of water in play that you can't quite see here. I take too much club and put it over the green, and this is a really tricky chip. Every single pin today just seemed to be in a place where the ball wanted to slide away from the hole. But I'm happy to make an up and down here. The shot tracer is generous here. This was more of a snap hook. And the approach with the hybrid is okay, and I'm just short of the green. And here I roll definitely my best putt of the day. It's at least 50 or 60 feet, and I cozy it up to tap in distance. And then look what I do. It's at this point that I'm getting a little worried about the day. And this is another smother hook. And that's a bad iron shot. When this lob wedge fails to get to the green, I really start to worry. And you can see it coming out in how I'm hitting these wedges here. Let's at least get out of here with double. Okay. This is the easiest par 3 on the course, but a swipey fade isn't going to do it. And all of a sudden it feels like I'm playing for bogey on every hole here. This is actually a tricky 2-putt itself. It almost drops, but I'll have to settle for another bogey. And 8 over through 7 with the toughest 2 holes on the course ahead isn't awesome. And I'm going to say right here might have been the turning point of my day. I just feel like every hole I'm scrambling around for a bogey. And every time I have a look at making a putt, it just wants to slide by. This is a beautiful par 5 finishing hole for this golf course. And if you're not a long hitter like myself, you basically need to make sure your second shot is in this narrow window in order to get on the green. And I follow my best full swing of the day with the worst. And now we're trying to get up and down for bogey on a par 5, which is never fun. That's actually a really delicate putt. And 11 over through 9, let's just say that's not how we drew it up. But it's fun to show you the good and the bad. And after such a good day yesterday, this is certainly not the way we wanted to start 9 today. And to break it down, basically nothing was working. The driver wasn't working, the approach play was bad, the putter was bad. Yeah. Maybe this is a time to ask you to subscribe. I swear the rounds of golf get far better than this. But the good and the bad shows you that even being a single-digit handicap has its rough days. This might be the easiest par 4 on the golf course. I didn't hit that drive particularly well and still had a wedge in. This green is the hole's defense, however. And I thought I could get aggressive with this putt and end up rolling it a good 7-8 feet past the hole. Maybe 5 feet, but I do make it. This is another easy par 5, but not when you put it here. And certainly not when you put your second shot into the woods. This is me examining whether I can hit this ball, but cooler heads prevail here. I decide to take an unplayable. And the issue is that even with this drop, I'm not sure if I can get it out and back into the fairway. Thank God I do, or this could have been a Kevin Na scenario. My approach goes over the green, and look how impossible it is to stop a ball anywhere near here. And the bleeding doesn't really stop. After several doubles on the front, there's a triple. And on the downhill par 3 here, we hook one into the hazard. The second one we club down and chunk it. And suddenly we're trying to get up and down for double in order to avoid back-to-back triples. Okay, back-to-back triples, that's something new. This is another easy par 5. Even I can get home in 2, but not from the side hill lie that I have here. This pin's right on the front of the green and everything rolls to the back. I missed the green short, unfortunately. And this is a really good wedge here, so maybe I can get up and down for par? No. No, I can't. So now we're going to need to go under par on the final few holes in order to break 90? That was a bad drive that I got away with, and that's a bad 8-iron that I don't get away with. That's a bad wedge that I'm not going to get away with. And this might be the trickiest pin on the golf course. This is the heart of 3-putt territory. And it doesn't quite get speed down the hill here. So I'm still above the hole. Let's avoid 4-putting? No. Let's not avoid 4-putting. That's another triple. These are really gettable holes on the front 9, and it's quite frustrating to be hitting bad shot after bad shot after bad shot. But you know what? My attitude stayed positive, and after making this putt, you'll see it come out. Friendly playing partners and a good day means that you just have to take one of these days for what it is. This is another 220-yard par 3, and maybe feeling a bit of relief after making my first par in over an hour, I'm able to stack them back to back here. The 8th hole gives you lots of options, and that includes hitting a skinny driver and a chunk wedge. And once I get up to the green, I see I've actually missed in the best spot possible, because I am able from this place to make a par, when one of my playing opponents putted a ball straight off the green and 50 yards down the fairway. On the final hole, I had to hit a provisional after this one, but thankfully found the original drive, but not before one more top. And can we at least end the day without another double bogey? We have a long par putt, and thank you, golf gods. We will take a bogey indeed on 18. And let it not be said that somebody can't shoot 1 over and 22 over in the span of a week, because I just did it. And here's what it looks like on paper. It's almost impossible to go through, just suffice it to say everything was bad. Once I got out of my groove to start the round, I just never found anything. From drivers, to irons, to wedges, to putters. Yeah, the confidence went, and everything was terrible. I find it's fun to at least show these rounds, though. I can't stand watching YouTubers who basically pipe the ball 320 yards down the middle every time and talk about how good they are. The reality is, as people who aren't pro golfers, we're going to go out some days and absolutely stink. It kind of sucks doing it in the third and final day of a tournament, but I guess the upshot is that I did it on the final day and not one of the first two, because otherwise I wouldn't have even had the privilege of playing in the third round. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned. I think my next round to be featured on the channel, the score will start with a 7, so that's a bit more fun.